Today, I'm going to reveal the secret that a man will never tell you, because he himself isn't even aware of how much it rules him. Your true orgasm is his truth. In this video, you're going to discover why your orgasm is his greatest obsession, how to activate that vibrational magnetism that marks him forever, and how to turn your orgasm into your greatest power. Not as a tactic to keep him, but as the key that transforms you into the woman his soul will never be able to replace. Stick around, because this truth won't just change your life, it will change how you see yourself as a woman and as power. So go ahead and hit that like button right now and subscribe. It's completely free for you, and it helps me enormously. Also, share this video with someone you know who needs it. All right, let's dive in. The secret never told: your orgasm is his truth. Listen carefully to these words, because they hold a secret no man will ever tell you. It doesn't matter how much he desires you. It doesn't matter how beautiful you look that night. It doesn't matter how much he himself feels in his own body. For a man, sex is physical enjoyment, but seeing you reach your genuine orgasm is his truth. Carl Jung said that what attracts the male soul the most is not possessing the female body, but feeling that his energy was so powerful it opened her to absolute pleasure. Let me explain this to you with brutal honesty. When a man has your body, he feels satisfied. But when he sees you reach your orgasm, his soul feels triumph. It's as if, in that moment, his unconscious says, "I am enough. My energy was able to touch her so deeply that she surrendered in my hands." This isn't something he consciously thinks about. He doesn't calculate it or say it in words. It's a secret that lives deep within his masculine shadow. A primal, archetypal instinct vibrating in his unconscious that defines the attraction he feels for you. Let me tell you the story of Laura, 40 years old, married to Ryan, 42, for 15 years. Laura had always been a passionate woman, but over time she began repressing her orgasm. She was afraid of sounding too loud. She was afraid of looking vulnerable. She was afraid of feeling too exposed. So every time they were together, she focused on making sure he finished quickly and felt satisfied. But she never reached her orgasm. Never. Until one day, after an encounter, while Ryan was getting dressed for work, he said something that left her breathless. "Do you know what would make me happier than anything? Seeing you orgasm with me, knowing I can make you feel like that." At that moment, Laura understood the secret he'd never confessed. It wasn't just his own orgasm that made him feel like a man. It wasn't only his strength or stamina. It was seeing her surrender to pleasure that activated his deepest masculine instinct and connected him with her on a level no other woman had ever given him. Here's the mystical revelation. When you reach your orgasm, your feminine energy expands like a vibrational magnetic field that envelops his unconscious. He doesn't grasp it with his rational mind, but his soul perceives it as triumph, achievement, and an irreplaceable mystery. That's why a woman who prioritizes her own orgasm isn't selfish. She's wise. Because when you surrender to your pleasure, you're not just honoring your body and your energy. You're allowing his masculine soul to feel its most archetypal purpose, to be the man capable of giving you real, deep, and authentic pleasure. Faking it doesn't activate the secret. Faking it doesn't ignite his masculine energy. Only your true, real orgasm, the one that flows without fear or control, is what his unconscious interprets as his greatest victory. Carl Jung would say that the woman who opens herself to genuine orgasm becomes a portal between instinct and the divine. And the man who touches that portal feels elevated, not just as a lover, but as a whole man. This is the secret never told. A man can desire you without your orgasm, but when he sees you reach absolute pleasure, his mind desires you. His body remembers you, and his soul chooses you again and again. And this is only the beginning. Pay close attention, because I'm going to tell you why he'll never confess this truth to you, and how his deepest masculine wound stops him from admitting that he needs your orgasm to truly feel like a man. Why he'll never tell you the hidden wound of his masculinity. Now that you know the secret never told, that your authentic orgasm is his truth, I'm going to reveal something even deeper and brutally honest. Why, even though this is his most powerful truth, will he never confess it? Listen with an open heart, because what you'll learn today won't just help you understand him, It will help you understand his deepest wound as a man. Let me tell you the story of Valerie, 39, married to Fabian for 12 years. Valerie had always been a woman who loved sex. She was open, sensitive, vibrant, and unafraid to express what she felt. But since getting married, she noticed something that deeply confused her. Whenever she allowed herself to let go and surrender to orgasm, Fabian would get more turned on than ever. But afterward, his reaction would leave her cold. He'd go silent, turn away, or get up immediately. One day, through tears, Valerie asked him, "Does it make you uncomfortable to see me orgasm? Is it that you don't like it? I feel like the more I give myself to you, the more you pull away afterward." Fabian stayed silent. He looked at her tenderly, with a mix of shame and sadness in his eyes, and finally said, "It's not that I don't like it, it's that I'm afraid I won't be able to make it happen again next time." And there it was, his wound, the deepest masculine wound, the terror of not being enough. Carl Jung said that a man's greatest pain isn't a woman's rejection. It's the feeling of not being able to sustain her feminine world. Because for a man, the feminine isn't just sex. It's a brutal reminder of both his power and his potential failure at the same time. Listen carefully. When a man sees his woman reach orgasm, his masculine unconscious feels triumph, but at the same time, it triggers his wound. What if next time I can't give her that? What if I lose her because I'm not enough? What if one day she gets bored of me? This is the secret he'll never tell you. He won't tell you because his masculine ego is programmed to project strength, control, and dominance. Admitting that he needs your orgasm to feel like a man would mean admitting vulnerability, and society taught him that vulnerability equals weakness. Let me tell you what happened next with Fabian. After that conversation, Valerie stayed silent, but inside her something lit up. She realized that it wasn't her orgasm making him insecure. It was his own concept of masculinity that made him feel that way. Here's the psychological and energetic revelation. Men are raised to believe that their value lies in their ability to satisfy a woman, but at the same time, they're forbidden from connecting with their vulnerability and confessing their fear of failing. This creates a brutal conflict in the masculine unconscious. They deeply desire to see their woman reach orgasm, but they fear not being able to repeat it, so they go silent, disconnect, and never admit it. Because the wound of not being enough is too painful to put into words. That's why, if you've ever wondered, if he loves my pleasure so much, why doesn't he say so? Why doesn't he ask how to touch me better? Why doesn't he insist on making me orgasm? It's not because he doesn't care. It's not because he doesn't want it. It's because he's terrified that if he tries and fails, his entire masculine world will collapse. He'd rather not try than face the feeling of failure. Carl Jung would explain it this way. A man projects his shadow onto his relationships, and his most painful shadow is the feeling of not being enough to hold the light of the woman he loves most. Here's the vibrational integration of this point. When you understand that his silence isn't coldness, but fear, you begin to see him with compassion rather than judgment. His wound is not yours to heal, but your awareness can create a space where he doesn't fear failing. Because the man who feels that his woman doesn't expect his triumph to validate him, but who celebrates it when it comes and loves him even when it doesn't, is the man who feels safe to give his all without fear of failure. And this doesn't end here. The best part is yet to come. Right now, I'm going to tell you what truly happens in a man's unconscious when he sees a woman reach a genuine orgasm, and why that experience leaves an energetic and emotional imprint on him that goes far beyond the physical. With this, you'll become an obsession for him. The feminine energetic magnetism, what he perceives without understanding it. Before I go on, if this message is already stirring something inside you, subscribe right now and hit the like button. That way, we let YouTube know the content is valuable and it gets recommended. Thank you so much. Now that you already know that your authentic orgasm is his truth and that he'll never confess it because of his wound of not feeling enough, today I'm going to reveal something that will forever change the way you see yourself in intimacy. Your orgasm isn't just a physical act. It's an energetic field that his unconscious perceives as the most powerful magnetism he can never resist. Let me explain this without sugarcoating it. When a woman reaches her authentic orgasm, her vibrational field expands beyond her physical body. Her energy opens like a portal that doesn't just surround her body, it reaches into the energetic vibration of the man who's with her. Carl Jung would explain this by saying that the feminine orgasm is a physical manifestation of connecting with the archetype of the inner goddess. The man, even if he doesn't realize it consciously, perceives this at the most primal level of his masculine instinct. Because it's not just seeing her body trembling or her breath speeding up, it's feeling her vibration like an irresistible magnet. Here's the brutal revelation. A woman's genuine orgasm doesn't stay in the bedroom. Her vibration gets imprinted forever in a man's emotional and energetic memory. Let me tell you the story of Cecilia, 41 years old, divorced, mother of 2 teenage kids, who had denied herself her own orgasm for years. After her divorce, she began a relationship with Andrew, 43 years old, a man who, right from the beginning, stirred up both desire and connection in her. On their first intimate encounter, Cecilia froze up. Her body trembled, but her mind was screaming, "Don't show vulnerability. Don't look desperate. If you show how much you like it, he'll have power over you." So she held back. She faked a soft, quick orgasm so that he'd think she'd enjoyed it. Afterward, Andrew hugged her affectionately, but there was a dull look in his eyes. They didn't see each other for 2 weeks. When they finally met up again, Andrew said something that left her breathless. "I don't know if I'm wrong, but I felt like you weren't really there with me. Your body was, but not your energy." And here's the raw truth. Men don't know how to explain it. They don't have the words for it, but their masculine unconscious senses when your pleasure is real and when it's not. Because your authentic pleasure radiates a magnetic field that his masculine instinct translates as, "She is life, she is power, she is a portal to the ultimate feminine mystery." When a woman allows herself to reach orgasm from her own sovereignty and not from acting, the man doesn't just desire her. He respects her deeply, even if he doesn't know why. His reptilian and limbic brain record that experience as an imprint of emotional and energetic memory. Years might go by. He might meet other women, experience other bodies, but his unconscious will still remember the woman who vibrated in her own authentic pleasure. Here's the energetic explanation. During feminine orgasm, the magnetic field of the heart and the womb expands in waves of coherent energy, creating a vibration so powerful that science still hasn't been able to measure it precisely, but the male soul feels it as a sacred experience. That's why a man can have sex with many women, but he'll remember forever the one whose orgasm was an act of total surrender to herself. Let me tell you what happened with Cecilia afterward. After that conversation with Andrew, something woke up inside her. She realized that all her life she had used her orgasm as a tool for male approval, and had never explored her orgasm as an act of self-love and vibrational power. So she decided to change. On their next date before seeing Andrew, she took a deep breath and told herself in the mirror, "Tonight, I'm not here to please him. Tonight, I'm here to honor my orgasm, to let him feel my real energy." That night, as Andrew touched her, Cecilia closed her eyes and stopped thinking about how she looked, what face she was making, or whether she was too exposed. For the first time in her life, she stopped controlling her orgasms. Her body trembled. Her hips arched without shame. Her breath became a vibrational song of authenticity. And as her orgasm flowed through her, she opened her eyes for a second and saw Andrew looking at her with an expression she had never seen before. A mix of wonder, deep desire, love, and respect. After that moment, Andrew just stared at her in silence and finally said, "I don't know what happened tonight, but I've never felt anything like it with anyone." Here's the vibrational integration of this point. Your pleasure is not only yours. Your pleasure is a magnetic field that his unconscious perceives as a divine gift, something that elevates him, honors him, and bonds him to you beyond reason or the physical body. Now let me tell you the best part of all. In the next point, you'll discover the deadliest mistake many women make by not understanding this magnetism, faking it to protect their ego, and how, without realizing it, they kill his desire and deepest respect. The mistake that shuts off the secret, faking it to protect him. I'm going to reveal to you the deadliest mistake, the one that destroys in seconds all that magnetism. And the worst part is that almost all women commit it without realizing it. That mistake is faking it to protect his ego. Let me tell you the story of Natalie, 38 years old, married to Stephen for 14 years. Natalie loved her husband. He was a good man, hardworking, loving, protective. But in bed, things were never extraordinary for her. She would always get halfway there, and then her mind would start saying, if I don't fake it, he'll think he's not enough. If I don't fake it, he'll get frustrated and shut down. Better to fake it quickly and make him feel good. So she faked it, softly but falsely. Controlled movements to put on a show. Accelerated breathing, but empty of real energy. Stephen would finish, smile with satisfaction, give her a kiss on the forehead, and roll over to sleep. And Natalie, lying beside him, stared at the ceiling with silent tears, feeling like a body used but not truly loved. Here's the brutal revelation. Faking it doesn't protect him. It destroys his magnetism toward you. Because his masculine unconscious might not know it consciously, but his energetic field detects the difference between the authentic and the acted. When you fake it, his ego might feel satisfied, but his soul disconnects. When you fake it, his body relaxes, but his instinct switches off. Listen to this with an open heart, even if it hurts. When a man senses that his woman fakes it to please him, a part of his soul feels like a failure, even if he can't put it into words. Carl Jung would explain it this way. A man who senses falseness in a woman's pleasure disconnects from his own masculinity because his energy stops feeling enough to hold the real feminine mystery. Here's the brutal paradox. You fake it to protect his ego, but in reality, what his ego needs most to be strong is your authentic pleasure. Even if it doesn't happen every time, even if the path is long, even if he needs to learn how to sustain it. Because for a man, there is no greater feeling of triumph than knowing that his woman reached orgasm with him, not for him, not because of him, but with him. Let me tell you what happened with Natalie afterward. One day, tired of faking it, she decided to speak up. While they were having dinner in silence, she took a deep breath and said, I need to tell you something, even though it scares me. I've faked it many times so I wouldn't hurt you, but I don't want to live like this anymore. I want us to learn my body together. I want you to feel my real orgasm, because there's nothing that would make me happier than vibrating with you without masks. Stephen looked at her with tears in his eyes. He took her hand, kissed it, and whispered, Thank you for telling me this. I didn't know how much I needed to hear it. Here's the vibrational integration of this point. Faking it to protect him is the biggest betrayal of your feminine energy. Your real pleasure doesn't wound him. It elevates him. Your authentic orgasm doesn't weaken him. It makes him stronger. Your real pleasure doesn't make him feel less of a man. It reminds him that he's a man who can hold life itself. Because a man may enjoy sex with women who fake it, but his soul is only marked forever by the woman who allows herself to feel authentic pleasure without shame or fear. And this journey doesn't end here. In the next point, you'll discover how to activate this secret practically. How to cultivate your orgasm not as a seduction tactic, but as an act of energetic sovereignty that transforms you into his greatest mystery and his greatest truth. Stay tuned, because what comes next will teach you how to turn your orgasm into a portal of power. Not just a moment of physical pleasure. Activate your orgasm as a sovereign vibrational power, not as a tactic to keep him, but as the purest manifestation of your feminine divinity. I'm going to explain it to you with the rawest and most beautiful truth that Carl Jung taught. A woman who lives as a gift to herself radiates such a powerful energetic field that the man who touches her feels like he's touching God through her skin. Let me tell you the story of Marianne, 43 years old, married to Henry, 44, for 19 years. Marianne had always been a devoted, loving, protective woman. In bed, she did everything he wanted, positions she didn't enjoy, rhythms that didn't please her, faked orgasms so he would finish happy. And every time she showered afterward, she'd look at her reflection in the mirror with silent tears, thinking, someday he's going to get tired of me and look for someone more sensual, more confident, more alive. But one day everything changed. At a feminine energy retreat, she heard a phrase that shook her to the core. Your orgasm is not a weapon to keep him, nor a coin to buy love. Your orgasm is your most powerful prayer to life. That day she realized she had never lived her orgasm as power. She had used it as a tactic to feel loved, to avoid being abandoned, to secure her place in his heart. Here's the vibrational revelation. When you use your orgasm as a tactic, your vibration transmits lack and manipulation, and his unconscious senses your need as pressure. When you cultivate your orgasm as power, without fear and without expectations, your vibration transmits abundance, freedom, and mystery, and his soul is drawn to you without knowing why. Marianne decided to change her vibration. That night, before going to bed with Henry, she looked at herself in the mirror and repeated, "Tonight, I allow myself to feel my orgasm without fear, without control, without shame." During their encounter, something inside her shifted completely. She closed her eyes and stopped thinking about whether he was satisfied. She stopped controlling her sounds and her gestures. She felt each caress as a gift to her body. She allowed her breath to become a vibrational song of life. And when her orgasm arrived, she didn't hold it back. Her body convulsed with force, her voice trembled without shame, and her tears flowed, not from sadness, but from such a deep gratitude that her soul vibrated like a beam of light in that room. When she opened her eyes, Henry was looking at her as if he were seeing her for the first time. With a trembling voice and eyes full of tears, he whispered, "I've never seen anything so beautiful. I swear that in that moment, I felt like God existed." Here's the brutal integration of this point. The feminine orgasm is not just one more. It's the activation of your vibrational field of abundance, life, and spiritual power. It's the moment when your body becomes a portal between the physical world and the divine, and his masculine soul perceives it as a mystery impossible to replace. Carl Jung would say, "A woman who allows herself her authentic orgasm becomes a living symbol of the inner goddess, and the man who touches that symbol is never the same again." Here are the steps to cultivate your orgasm as power, not as a tactic. Step 1. Surrender control. During the encounter, don't think about how you look, what sounds you're making, or what faces you're pulling. Let go of the need to control your image and give yourself fully to what you're feeling. Step 2. Breathe deeply and slowly. Your breath is the vehicle of your energy. Each inhale expands your orgasm. Each exhale anchors it into your body as living vibration. Step 3. Use words of power for yourself. While you feel him inside you, silently repeat, "I am life. I am light. I am a portal of divine power." These words are not for him, they're for you, and they instantly elevate your vibration. Step 4. Feel without shame. It doesn't matter how loud your voice is, how much you tremble, or if tears come. Don't hold back. Your authentic expression of orgasm is your soul's sacred song. Step 5. Give thanks afterward. When it's over, place your hand over your lower belly and silently repeat, "Thank you for reminding me that I'm alive." This act seals the vibration of abundance within you and in his energetic memory. Because a man may have sex with many women, but he will only remember forever the woman who vibrated in her own orgasm like an embodied goddess. And this is just the beginning of your awakening. The secret a man will never tell you is that, even if he never admits it, there is nothing that makes him feel more like a man, more alive, and more connected to his purpose than seeing you surrender to your authentic orgasm. Because your orgasm is not a prize you give him. It's a portal that elevates him and connects him with his own greatness. Comment below, "Today I claim my orgasm as my greatest power." Declare it, and let this truth anchor itself into your feminine energy. Because from today onward, you will no longer be the woman who seeks validation through her orgasm. You will be the woman whose orgasm radiates so much power that no man can ignore the magnetic truth of your soul. And if this message resonated with you, I invite you to leave a powerful like, subscribe, and definitely activate the notification bell. But above all, don't leave just yet. There's so much more waiting for you. Dive into the other videos here on the channel and keep expanding your energy and your power. I'll see you in the next video.